Welcome to the Everyday Magic Podcast. I'm Anya Rock.
And I'm Dr. Sophia Trivena.
We've been best friends for 25 years, united by the belief that no matter what life throws at us, we can always find the magic. Join us every week as we dive into our most intimate conversations about sex, money, intuition, and building our company, Sofanya, a merger of our names and the best of us. Hi.
Hi, Goddess.
Hi, Goddess.
You ready for the adventure?
Yeah, always.
Do you know what it's about today?
Well, we talked about doing some going into intuition.
Yes.
Doing some full moon, because we are on the verge of the full moon as we record this.
Yes. Tomorrow marks the beginning of the 4-day full moon cycle. So that always begins a few days before the full moon, and the last day of the full moon is the last day of the full moon cycle. So we have 4 days where whatever got launched energetically in the new moon manifests itself. It shows, it reveals, something happens as a result of those intentions and holding those glimmers. So a couple new moons ago, which was the last time we recorded on a new moon, we both saw eventually settling into places where we were kind of moved beyond men who couldn't meet us, and you were settled back into your home, and I was no longer dating a few people, and one person stepped forward for both of us. So we kind of went on that journey through that whole lunar cycle and ended up in that place. We haven't received those new men yet, but we did come to the place where we're on the other side of it, a sort of a dating flurry and settling into a place after that. And what I find is that a lot of times I get glimmers or signs on the new moon, and it doesn't mean that the entire journey resolves in one lunar cycle. It'll be a major step towards it. And sometimes the same theme shows up for 4 or 5 new moons in a row until the big happening.
Right.
So I'm really curious. I mean, part of me is really curious, is this the full moon cycle where I meet that man?
Right.
Or is this a step towards it? Or is there something else entirely? So that's why I was
also really stepped into the fall season. We stepped into Virgo season. We just came out of Labor Day. So even as this will be published, we've moved into a new season, even though it's a heat wave in LA, as we joke.
My gosh, I was settling into sweater weather. I was like shopping for long sleeves, and I came home, I was like, I got wide leg jeans, and you were like, what?
I mean, the pumpkin spice latte is iced here in LA.
My Canadian blood is like, let's cozy in, let's not go out. And I'm like, it's 90 degrees out. So, okay. Energetically, we are in fall, whether the weather says so or not. And it's time I feel cozy. I feel the cozy settle down feeling inside of me.
There's definitely been an energetic shift from a few weeks ago, the kind of flurry of the end of summer.
Yeah, Lionsgate.
Yeah, everyone around me is sort of reflecting that. Like there is this taking inventory, looking at things, what's working, what's not, what do I want to let go of, what do I want to bring with me into September and October, whether we're in sweater season or not. What are the lessons that we gathered through the summer as we were in that full bloom and the shifts? And I think we both have reflected, we're feeling this kind of draw to be home, this draw to be, cozier, even if it's cozy on a lawn chair in the 90-degree sun
or in really cold air conditioning.
But there's a nesting.
Yes.
That's naturally happening.
I feel that so much. Absolutely. And I didn't mention this, but on one of my first dates a couple of weeks ago, I had mentioned feeling the call to Burning Man coming to me, which always happens around Labor Day. And I hadn't felt the call in 5 years. I've been 3 times, but not for a while. And that man on the first date slipped Burning Man tickets into my purse for free. And I was sitting there with 2 Burning Man tickets going, do I mobilize towards this? And then things started to cross my path to do so. As in, someone else I was talking on the dating app said he was going to go, and he was going to go on Friday after all the storms. So I knew when I tuned in, I was going to be clear whether I could drive down with this person. And then I'm like, do I really want to go with a stranger? I mean, you had your drive where you had the weird left turn going into the desert with a stranger. So I was like, I'm not going to go with this man.
I was definitely not going to advocate for that choice.
No, I wasn't either. And then I was walking home from from the gym and I was like, why don't I just pop into a store and see if they have, any kind of Burning Man stuff, just in case I end up going in some miraculous way. At least I'll be a little prepared. And I popped into the store. I popped out with a couple things and I get a message from that man on the app. And he said, did you just come out of this store on this street? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, your hair is really striking. I knew it was you. We never met. We never talked. So the man that I could go to Burning Man with saw me getting Burning Man things when he lives 40 minutes away in Los Angeles. I'm like, what are you doing in this part of town? And he's like, one of my offices is there. And I was like, interesting. I'm like, is this more signs to go towards Burning Man?
Right.
But it was almost like more signs to make me take a stance and say no. And so my experience is that from the new moon, when you get a glimmer of something, to the full moon, when something happens, you have a lot of using your will to say no, to take a stance, to move towards the new thing, let go of the thing isn't working anymore. So I feel like because we're on the eve of the full moon cycle, or phase, we were on the eve of the full moon phase, it's a really great time to say, hey, just before that phase happens, is there anything else we need to let go of or reorganize so that what blooms in this phase is actually what we really want? So my curiosity would be to go to intuition and be like, what else do I need to let go of so I actually get the fullest fruition of my desires on the full moon phase? What do you feel about that idea?
Sure.
Yeah.
Was that one of our new moon, like, is it always letting go of something in the new moon, or is it?
In the phase before the full moon is called allowing rooting. It's where you have to allow shifts based on what you got revealed in the new moon. So let's say in the new moon, you get a reveal that this time you're going to love your job, right? And you might go on a journey for the next little while of realizing all the things you hate about your job and talking to people that have incredible jobs. And then you have to make choices in response to those prompts from life. And you might decide, look, I actually am really getting ready to quit and I want to go to more creative field. Creativity shows up around me and that's where I want to go. The choices you make around going towards creative and going away from your job are going to all influence what blooms in the full moon. And once the full moon phase happens, there's nothing more you do. You just accept the ride as it shows itself and you look at it and decide what you do next.
Right.
So for the next 4 days, we have no control. We take our hands off the steering wheel and, it's like a plant. You get a seed, you can put it certain water, certain location in the house. You can keep moving it around, feed it some nutrients. But when its bloom is starting to show its petals, there's nothing more you can do except watch what it blooms. And when you see it bloom, you go, oh, if I'd given it more food. Oh, if I'd move it over there. But if you move it, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change what's happening. You have to wait till the full moon's over and then you go on a responsive ride. Does that make sense? Yep. So given that this is kind of the last day we can adjust before the bloom, what do we want to adjust? And to your point, maybe it's not letting go, but maybe...
Right. Well, I remember, and on this particular new moon, you were really on the fork in the road about what to do and whether to...
I got those Burning Man tickets on the new moon.
Yeah.
And the choices I made, that's a good point. The choices I made since the new moon was not to go, not to go on a number of dates that were showing little signs of not being resonant. There was even a friend that I had been having some more than friendship with, and we saw each other and I didn't feel any draw. And so I kind of ended it being more than anything besides friends, only to find out he had also been doing the same thing with one of our dear friends, which I didn't know about. Nothing wrong with it. No one was saying otherwise, but in some ways I would have probably disclosed that knowing that people know each other, but no obligation to, especially in LA. But just a whole bunch of things sort of shutting down. And in response to me saying no, the things I did instead of going to Burning Man was like, I watched myself. I was like, oh, if I was going to Burning Man right now, I'd be using all my energy to organize my food. Instead, I organized all my supplements and got them very organized. So I'm taking everything I want, when I want, how I want. I would be getting all my outfits together. Instead, I went through my closet, got rid of everything, went and shopped, got a few things I need, rounded out my wardrobe. I would be organizing the RV to get going. Instead, I took all my jewelry out and put it all back into the case. I basically did for my life what I would do for Burning Man, if that makes sense. And then I got really sick, the sickest I've been in years, fall down, head cold, couldn't see, etc. And I just felt a clearing happening, the choice to invest in my life in a permanent foundational way. And we also finished our website for Sofanya during that time. I finished my personal website. So a lot of legacy platforms got done instead of the temporary experience that would be. And all of the men I was dating cleared away in different ways. So all of a sudden, I felt like there was a massive reset by a lot of choices to just say no. I was invited to some very grand events, some very fun things. I said no to all of them as well. So I just feel like there's a lot of saying no to everything that I used to say yes to. Nothing yet has really filled into that space. So it makes me curious. How about you? What's happened for you? Do you remember what was going on with you in the new moon?
I mean, on this new moon, I was... and I had just sort of gotten the confirmation that my ex-husband is going to move out of state and that I'm going to, I gave notice on my apartment.
In Los Angeles, like in West Hollywood, in the building that we share together, that we have this podcast studio in, and you have your apartment in this building. I have
my Goddess Palace,
which is the apartment in this building.
Which is my apartment. And, I've spent 2 years moving back and forth every other week and being either with my kids or here in Hollywood with you. And I love my apartment. This idea has been around for a while, and I was really resistant to it.
Do you remember how it came around? We did readings on it. I kept seeing you move your things and not be so.
But I mean, the idea of him leaving also was around.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The solution was also around, or the alternate.
I never saw him. I never saw that part. Oh, yes, I did. I said in one of the intuitive readings, I saw him coming to visit and getting an Airbnb and leaving.
You saw me going to the beach, which hasn't happened.
Right. And I saw when you moved there, he would come. I saw you moving down to the beach, and that he would come and get an Airbnb for a lot less time a month than he spends with the kids right now. And he would go away afterwards. And I'm like, why is he getting an Airbnb and going away? Right. Yeah. And some of that has happened in this choice, but not the beach part. And then I also saw that you would be moving your stuff out of your apartment. And so we didn't know how that all was going to show itself, those glimmers. But I didn't know that he's been talking for a while about maybe leaving state.
Yeah. It's been on the table. So anyways, I got that confirmation on really close to the new moon. So it's been a bit of a journey of acceptance and reorganization and
end of an era.
Yeah, end of an era.
How does that feel? This is a big era for you, for us, and for you.
It's everything. It feels disappointing. It feels also, and when I was at my house this week, I really felt this sense of, there is some sadness and disappointment and a feeling of like, the end of this part of the way that I experience it, this part of my life, this expression, I come and it's free and it's fun and we go out and we play and we record and we go to the pool and we work on our company and
we walk in the morning. Are you up, Goddess? Are you up? Yeah, ready to walk?
There's a lot of beauty and I miss my kids the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's a separation. They're an hour away. And the vision that I had when I was in that feeling, I was joking with my therapist. I'm like, I had a little pity party about it for myself on Saturday. Like, there's
with gold silverware.
Yeah, there's lots of feelings around it that are totally valid. And I feel like that sense of when the ocean pulls back to create a bigger wave, like it is a contraction.
I feel that.
And when we can trust the contraction, it can serve the bigger expansion.
Yes.
And that is the work, is to feel the contraction. It comes with lots of feelings. It comes with a reality, and to just trust and to know. I love being with my kids, and I know you do. Adore them. And there's a different version of me that settles in there.
Yeah.
But I am a mom, I'm a mother, and I am doubling down on what they need as teenagers in this era of life, to have some consistency, to have their mom around, which sometimes might be harder than having dad who lets them do things, or the nanny who's around when he's working.
Yeah.
So there'll be changes for everyone. I'm mostly sad for them. There's a loss to having their dad, it's temporary, but it still is reality. He's going to be out of state and he'll be back to spend 4 or 5 days with them a month. And I will still come to the city.
When he's back for those 4 or 5 days,
So we've agreed he can still stay for now. He'll stay at the house and be with them so they're not disrupted. They don't really want to go spend 5 days at an Airbnb in the middle of their school year or their school week, right? So it is a little bit less disruptive. So I've just been in that wave of what that all really means when it's
Yeah.
reality, giving notice and imagining how I'll move my things. I'm going to move things into this studio, some of my belongings. So I'll still have a place
Yeah.
in the same building with you, be
Yeah.
able to come to, but I won't have the same cadence.
Yes.
And I will be with my kids more, and I will find ways to be in my work and on our company and come for the day and be, I have an incredible nanny and I have support, and I'll continue to build that support. And I'm open to the ways that I will respond to what the universe throws me in terms of like, where do I need to be? At one point we talked about the beach, or like, do I need to be closer to the city? Like, do we just stay where we are and ride this out? Like, there's so many things I'm not sure about yet. And I'm just being with the uncertainty and the letting the answers be revealed as they will be, and trusting in the uncertainty and in the waiting.
Sure. Yeah, it definitely feels like the 2 years that we've both been having our own apartments in this building with a third apartment for the studio has just been pure magic. Like when people have come to visit us, or, Erica was filming B-roll for us today, and she was seeing us, how we take our gold racks to our own apartments, fill them up and roll them back. She's like, this is amazing. Like, I was like, it's really a dream come true. Like, we really lived a dream that will never happen in the same way again in these last 2 years together. And nor did they need to be. Like, it needs to evolve too. Like, that's not sustainable. That's like a lot of back and forth for you. It's a lot of off and on for me, even you coming and going all the time. Like, I organize my life around you when you're here mostly.
Our shared calendar.
Yeah, our shared calendar. Our love language is a shared calendar.
Like, it's really helpful if you change the calendar so I know where you are. Are you here this week? Oh my gosh.
I know. When I didn't know you were coming this week for sure, because and then when you came, I was like, this is incredible.
And I went into our shared calendar and like deleted all of my WeHo weeks, and I was like,
oh,
so
it's
sad.
a ceremony. Yeah. When you come, it'll be really, really special. Yeah.
And I'm only an hour away. Like,
Yes.
I can't, my kids will be in school and I can come for the day.
Yes.
It'll just be more intentional.
And I can come for offsites at your place too.
You can come out and play in the burbs.
Pool and the hot tub and the dogs and all the things. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's fun. And I feel like Erica asked me how I was feeling about it. And I said, it feels natural. Like, on paper, it's tragic, but it feels natural for some reason. And I also feel like this is happening so we both settle into the intimacy we really want. I feel like it's getting close for both of us, even though I've been single for 10 years and you've been single for a couple of years, or maybe 3, I can't remember. But it still feels like we're both about to have a next level intimacy journey that's kind of beyond the flurry of dating, the summer dating. And we'll see. But maybe that's what we tune into with the full moon.
Well, and as you said to me, as we were walking on the day when I got the news, and you were like, okay, how is this happening for you, not to you, which is always our go-to.
It is.
Both of us individually and collectively.
Yes.
That's why we're on the everyday magic.
Yes.
Where is the magic to be found?
Yes. Life is throwing this at us. Where is the magic?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's another great question to ask on the full moon is like, what magic are we not seeing?
Right.
Yeah, show us how things are happening for us. So I think it'd be interesting
to trust that so deeply. I think
we both
with
do.
Our company.
Oh my gosh, that's the only reason you can be. That's why I'm business married to you. Is like I couldn't be in another intimacy, business, travel, anything journey with anyone that doesn't work this way. Because when life throws things at you and you're both not going, oh, this is curious, this is interesting, this is hard, and I want to cry, but I'm still knowing there's something to be known here. That's the only journey I want to go on. It's the only one that's real to me, and that you have the same, not only the same lens, but lived, we have the same worldview, we have the same mindset, we have the same nervous system response. I just really appreciate the resonance we have of facing life this way.
Yeah.
It makes it magic. It makes it magic. I haven't thought about this, but we're also coming into having our products this fall. And it's interesting that we're being moved apart as the company activates into actually selling products.
Right.
That's interesting. I'd like to ask around that too. So I think we have a few good questions here.
Great.
On the eve of the full moon, which we have an eclipse in, which makes it 4 times as strong is what I get.
Yeah, eclipse season just
magnifies everything.
Yeah, can
catapult fast.
And also churns up things.
So my feeling is that all of this churning, I mean, what I went through in the last 2 weeks, everything I said no to, and a massive sickness and a reorganizing of my whole home and finances and everything personally. And then having my website finish, your website finish, and the Sofanya website finish
My
all in the
book
same
is
week.
getting handed at the end of this week on the full moon.
And all you've been doing is writing your book for, like, that's been very prominent for months and months. So a lot of things. I'm doing a huge event here in LA on women in leadership. So a whole bunch of things got churned, and they're all coming to a head right now. And I just feel like all that change is getting us ready so that when the full moon eclipse happens and it catapults us in the right direction, like the direction of our desires. So I feel like, is there any last alignment we want to do while we're still in the phase just before the full moon?
Right.
Last adjustments would be one I'm really curious about. I had a couple more in there, but do you want to start with that one?
Sure.
Okay. So last adjustments for this phase.
Okay.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, I saw just like I went on a little bit of a journey there of like reorganizing and just getting neutral. And there's been a whole bunch of things that have been presented to me as opportunities that I've kind of just been like holding out to wait to see when I get like the absolute yes on. And I just saw that it's sort of like the yes from this more static or solid place. And I saw right at the end, just like almost like a cartoon version of myself, like wrapping my arms around my home and my house. And like we talked a little bit about this in the last episode, like the time that we've had this back and forth has been so necessary to, as you said, decalcify some of the ways that, I was who I was and everything I was processing, and transformation, and this 2 years of rapid transformation. And now it's time to kind of go home and really hold it for my children. And I can in a different way than I could 2 years ago.
Sure.
And I have a deep connection to the city and to you and to our company. And so it's still going to draw me in. They're actually going to feel less separate than they do now.
I get that too.
That it's actually going to feel weirdly more like one, because I'll be steady in one place and be moving in and out more seamlessly.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I saw.
Beautiful. I did it for me, but I also did it for you. And I saw you being at the door of your house back in the suburbs with your kids, and you having like a box in your heart that was the size of a rose, and someone had put a rose in, and you'd close the box, and you were walking around your house with the box with the rose inside of it. And you were very like pleased about that. And I was like, okay, what's the message here? I went into the box, and it was like, but the hard wooden box felt foreign. It's like it doesn't belong in there. And the roses felt like sort of stifled in there. And I was like, I don't think this is good, actually. And I was like, what would be the optimal thing to do? Like, if you were to make the adjustment, what would it be? And I saw you take the box out, and I saw you give it back, but I saw it going back to all the men, that there's still little threads. I wonder if they'll call. I wonder if he asked me out again, what would I do? I wonder when really it's like, I mean, the message I get is you've seen enough to just be done. Like, and can you just be like, that's done, that's done, that's done. Like, actually, it's all very done. And not still be like, it's just nice that a guy like that, whatever. And I do hold that was wonderful. And I just feel like you still keep it around as nice. You don't have the need to like be like very clear, like that wasn't okay. So that person's energy is gone from me. And I never think about them or even feel the good things that were there. So I just saw really doing a cleansing of that. And I saw very similarly for myself. What I needed to do to adjust is I saw men at my door still trying to give me roses, and me shutting the door and going to sit outside by myself and just being really with my own energy and being like, all of that is done. Like, you can still, I could hold the energy of all these many experiences and all the people and how lovely it was and all the good things. And I still very clear in the lessons. And I just get, that's not going to benefit me right now. And that sign's been coming up around. Like I saw a meme on Instagram where it was a woman doing this little video where she's talking with herself as if she's two people. And she's like, but on my vision board, I have this wonderful person. And I say, I have this and I want this new job, but it never happens. And then it's her on the other side. And she's like, and behind closed doors, you still count every penny and look at every paycheck and deposit it the second you get it. And you still have a picture of your ex-boyfriend in the bottom of your drawer. And it's like these leaky intentions and vibrations that stick around as sort of like fun.
Right.
And, can we let them all go?
And you and I both saw that, or I forget where we were, but you went in and saw like there's also an energy that we've been using that's been beautifully aligned to build our own platforms, me for the book and my website, you for yours, and dating and like this expansive energy that now it's like we needed to fill up our cups and now it's time to pour into Sofanya.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. And to our own creations too. I mean, the card that I kept getting is like, I'm supposed to be doing this as separate from Sofanya Venture. You're launching your book, which is totally separate. And Sofanya is launching. So that was the other question we were going to ask is how does this new era, that this like next couple lunar cycles, we're going to have products to sell.
Yeah.
How are these changes and, preparing us or like, how does this new era, because I keep feeling it's the end of an era.
Right.
And it's a new one.
Yep.
How does this new era and Sofanya go together? I'd love to go in and ask that. Do you feel up for that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to go first this time.
Okay. Yeah, I get that's right. I just felt this really cozy sweater weather, pumpkin spice like feeling again. And I really remember being in the fall together in our 20s, like in the late 90s, turn of the century. And we would get like, we pull out our sweaters, we go walking in the park in the fall leaves. Like, I just remember those feelings. I remember having them with you even. And like, I just feel like that is the signature energy of Sofanya. Like, it's the cozy, sacred friendship. And you really being settled in your life and me really being settled in my life and us being really settled together and out of sort of the churn of rapid growth and decalcification and etc. is not the energy that we spin out through Sofanya. It's like the settled, the sunken in, the where that lands you place. And how I saw how perfect it is that we like that's the frequency of love. Like, we're really in the frequency of love and the things that juice us in the frequency of love. And how in the stillness we can really be with the images and the words that we put out through all of the ways we want to share the essence, through social media, through a website, through whatever. It's just, we sit with it as sacred. We actually, it's sacred ritual. It meets modern self-care, right? So we're really in the sacred ritual of our lives. And it's more the energy of, I saw me sitting on my deck in the warm summer nights, but using them in a fall way to not be at the dance party, but to be on my deck watching the sunset behind the mountains, feeling the mountains, being with the mountains, getting downloads, refining what we want to say about this product or that thing. And you know what I mean? It was just this really slowed down, sacred being with our baby.
Yeah, intentionality. I saw just like even us coming together requires intention. It requires, right now we're just like, we find ourselves kind of thrown together and then we follow the flow and the energy. And this next season is about us creating intentionally times to be together, times to film, times to...
Same.
Right.
Yeah. I saw me going to your place, coming in. It's very like I'm coming for an offsite so that we can refine all the words on the website till they feel like they are absolutely the essence of Sofanya and us. And
doing like our, photo shoot for the website and having the creative director position and like us now creating it as it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like we've been preparing for the baby, but now the baby's here. So we have to be with the baby.
And the baby requires a 4th trimester.
Right.
Right. Where you are, at least in the way that we think about, and, you know, I think about mothering and encourage anyone who has a physical baby to think about it.
Sure.
Like, there's this time when the baby first comes, it's actually the most intimate and the most beautiful. And you don't need to be out in the world passing the baby around. It's really just like getting to be with the baby. So I wonder if that's a little bit of what this is for us.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. And then one final question that we had posed already was, anything to know about why things are happening for us, and anything to know about the full moon. Although I get the full moon just reveals itself. Different than the new moon, where we can receive from the mystery, from the yin. The full moon is way about the yang, and you just go on the journey and experience it.
Right.
So I almost feel like there's nothing to ask about that. We just have to go. But the last question I get, is there anything happening for us, not to us, that we need to see? A reframe. What do you feel about that one?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go in and see.
Okay. Beautiful. I get to go first.
Okay.
I saw, again, this intersection of what feels like a conflict inside of me, which are these 90-degree days, warm summer nights, but I feel the fall cozy. Like, what? But I saw how beautiful that is, that in the evenings, just me lying on my deck on the 6th floor, looking towards the Hollywood Hills, just watching the sunset, and how every night I could just be getting downloads and feel so sacredly connected, and have Leela by my side, my little dog. And I saw, really getting to like play the harp at nighttime, or like in that hot air conditioning, you know, when it's really hot to stay, like getting to play the harp and read physics and study neuroscience. Like, these are the things that make me the happiest. I just feel
taking an extra degree.
Yeah, I just throw that in the mix. It lights me up. Right? It super lights me up, like, just to use all parts of my brain firing at once, and to learn how the body works at that, like, you know, quantum level, in a way that we experience consciousness and reality, like, like intoxicated on it, right? Oh, and I didn't even mention, I'm going to NASA. I'm getting a tour of NASA. I just got the approval today.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I just feel like there's parts of me that go dormant while I'm playing all summer.
Right.
And I just...
Scientist is coming back out.
It's coming a lot. Yeah. She's
sweater
back.
weather, like... Put on the glasses and the science coat and go do some research.
Yeah, it's Science September.
Well,
that's my Virgo season.
Yeah, and school starting. Yeah. We've always talked about this, how because my kids are starting school, and you've always in
been
our friendship,
professor or been in school,
or just been like, oh, this is the season when I start to really think about, what am I going to learn this season?
Yes.
And so it is interesting you're doing that.
Yeah,
you are taking a postdoc. You are studying neuroscience in in your spare time.
Yes. Yeah. It's really, really fun. I'm like, do I watch another episode of Love is Blind, or do I learn how neurons are firing in response to trauma? Yeah.
Right. I'm like, do I take this OMG yes course?
I did sign up for that, actually. I went in,
too.
I went through it, and I was like, okay, I actually knew every single thing in there. I was like, I was waiting for something I didn't know, which was interesting. But then I was also like, I want the world to know this information, and I have for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad someone's doing it. Yeah. You know, when you take a PhD, the big thing they teach you is, where is there a gap in knowledge, and how do you fill it, right? And
when you're trying to figure out what to do a PhD on?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you spend years is just figuring out what you want to do, because you have to go wander through the field to find out where the gaps are. And so
not the app.
Very different kind of wandering through the fields.
I think they're really similar.
The same thing, finding out where the gap is. Totally.
I really think the field
That's
app and the field and actually
the field of consciousness too.
One of the guys I went on a date with was like, it's not the field, it's field.
Oh.
And I was like, but to me, it's the field.
Yeah, it is the field. It's the field of
I'm using it as
possibilities.
the quantum information.
It's the field of possibilities. And from that, you identify the gap and you graduate from it and you call in the gap, which is what you want.
And intimacy is only one place where we can do that.
Totally.
Now you're doing it in neuroscience.
Science, yes, exactly. So Science September is upon me.
Beautiful.
And I saw that that's what's happening for me and not to me, is that it doesn't need to be gray and drizzly out and like dark at 4 p.m. as I'm used to,
It will be.
And it will be.
Dark and hot.
Right. It's almost like part of me was like, I have to wait 2 more months to settle into that cozy. And it's like, no, you can use these long days. Like you can still have that like late August feeling for 2 more months and enjoy that. This like the sunset of the summer. For 2 months and really sink into all your fall pursuits now. And I really got intoxicated by what I just saw, because they've been in conflict, that it's hot summer and I'm feeling so fall cozy.
Very interesting.
How about you? And I saw that go into Sofanya as well. Very much that it's really allows that to be marinated into. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I saw. I'm so wrapped up in yours. So exciting.
I love, this is why you're my best friend. Like, you're the only person that could hear that list of things and be like, oh, she's so happy. She played harp and then she studied neuroscience and she went to bed studying quantum physics.
Great.
I know.
I'm so excited
it's really
for
that
you.
geeky.
I have my pleasure practices and figuring out how to.
I have that too.
How to keep my kids, and integrate the priority of pleasure while I'm managing all the
home life.
the
with
kid
them.
stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes I literally have to close my eyes again and go right back to like what was there, because I'm so easily distracted by all the shiny things.
The cool thing is intuition; it's still there because it's real information. Yeah.
So I was telling you last night at dinner that I have this idea for a mastermind, the Empress Code Mastermind, of bringing my business acumen, and which I sometimes
forget about. I don't.
Yeah.
You're genius.
And pleasure and sort of bringing, using the two. And I just saw when I closed my eyes, I was like, right, I have been given all of these. Some of the lessons of the last 2 years have been really hard.
Oh God, yeah.
I've had some.
I've watched it. It's horrible. Both of us.
That have, not felt. It takes real practice and mastery to lean into how this is happening for me. Like,
an announcement that you're going from a life you're really enjoying to a totally different life, not at your choice, that you're being handed this and you have to.
And despite really working every angle, that sounds manipulative, but really
open to all possibilities and
asking in every way I could imagine my ex-partner not to do this, and still having this be the reality, right? And knowing that I'm going to have the aftermath of how my kids respond to it, which is real.
Yeah.
And all of that, I just saw like an empress, and I remember Googling it when I had this idea for empress, and an empress is in sovereign reign of her place, of her, right? She is reigning over her queendom, right? She is the of her empire.
Yes.
And that everything has brought me to this moment to be in sovereignty with my finances, my intimacy, my children, clearing away
everything that's non-resonant.
And being very I just saw me kind of looking out over the whole scape. Sofanya, my business, the children, tightening up the areas where there are people who feel entitled, right? Really having those, and feeling in my power in a different way than I was before.
Beautiful. I always feel that I'm guided into pretty extreme circumstances. Like when I sold my business about 9 years ago and I didn't have to work for the first time since I was 10, I took a year and I was an artist in Lisbon, Portugal, and I only painted and wrote poetry and didn't do any other. I never saw a spreadsheet, didn't have any clients, and I'd never experienced it. And I really got to know myself as an artist. Like when people say, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm an artist." Never said that before, right? And that didn't last forever. It was a pretty extreme slice of life, but I brought that artist with me. Like every painting in my home is I made. I still feel like the artist when I look at Sofanya, and we made our investor magazine that's so beautiful. I still bring the artist with me, but she needed time and space to be the center, that version, that part of me, right? And so I feel like you got to have this pretty extreme experience where you're living this almost unsustainable, like moving every week for years thing, and being away from your kids that much when they're young. That's hard too. All of it, like that you got so much from that. And can you take all of that expansiveness and all of that development and all of that expression and parts of you and they coming all into your pleasure and reclaiming that? And can you bring it back into life? And I feel like that's the oneness. Like, and people are like, there's seasons. There's a seasons to be the scientist. There's the seasons to be the lover, to be celibate with the angels only. I've done all of those, but all of it now lives in me.
Yeah, it's the integration.
Yeah. And there's no right or wrong, or it's a natural rhythm. And the beautiful part is the life we design gives it all to us if we go on the journey. And that's why the everyday magic, just going on the journey. And that's why at the end of every newsletter, every Sunday, I'm like, thanks for being on the journey with me, because being on the journey with me is about as big as it gets. That's to me bigger than giving me $1 million. You know, you may disagree, but like if you're on the journey with me,
they could give us $1 million too if they want.
And be on the journey.
Yeah, be on the journey, and
the journey might be a little more fun.
Let's do the journey and also do a bougie. That would be like my ideal.
I think that could be our idea. I think I've adapted.
I think that's the signature we've both claimed. We could do the bougie journey.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I definitely have come to realize I'm really happy in elegant, luxe circumstances, places, textures, scents, and sounds. Like I'm meant to be insensitive, beautiful.
That's
I
the
thrive.
pleasure of life.
I thrive.
Yeah.
I thrive.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all do.
And we all have our versions of it, but we have pretty similar versions, which is fun. Yeah. Okay. Back to you giving me $1 million and being on the journey.
Right.
I mean, there was
available for both. Just saying.
I have manifested 25,000 to do our pitch deck for Sofanya in a day. Then on the episode, I was guided and you asked I needed $50,000 to do the next level of what I needed to do for my business. I manifested that. And then yesterday we were driving and I was like, I really feel like we're supposed to ask for what we want. I had a dream.
We saw 666 when we were driving.
Which means ask spirit for help with your material needs. And I had a dream on Sunday, which would be the Sunday of Burning Man that I didn't go to, that someone was saying to me, and I was tearing up paper and handing it to you, list 10 things you want help with from the angels.
Right.
Remember, don't turn to them and ask what they want from you.
Right.
They work for you. Ask them what you want from them. And I made a list of 10 things when I woke up. And I feel like when we were driving that, when we saw ask angels for help with your material needs, I think from the new moon until now, it's all been like, ask for help with what you want so that in this full moon eclipse, it actually happens. And we asked for $500,000 for Sofanya. We were like, we've been getting investors. And so we've raised more than that. I'm proud of us. And I am not only proud of us for believing in it, but proud of us for attracting such incredible resonant women who I just would never even want to do this journey without them. I just can't believe how beautiful and they came from all different places. It's just been incredible. So when you said I'd like whatever, I said, I don't know if we can just ask for that. I'm like, oh no, I think you said 100,000. I'm like,
no, I said, I'd like $1 million. And you're like, we can't just ask for $1 million. I was like, I think actually we can.
Yeah. And I said, I don't get it.
Universe isn't on a budget.
Right. I got it. And I was like, I don't get energy around it. I mean, I've spent a lot of my sessions helping people stop asking for things that are not in their path and just getting nothing. I'm like, and then you said, okay, 100,000 then, 100,000. I'm like, actually, we're supposed to ask for more.
It's like, send us what's the most available wealth that's on our path.
And as soon as you said that, I saw $500,000. And you're like, okay, 500,000. I'm like, yep. And I'm like, 600. I'm like, nope, 600's on our path. 500's on our path. And I'm like, and then I was like, oh, I mean, we have the best of everyone lined up. in terms of in the country, the best people to work with for every aspect of how we'd want to share the Sofanya story, the Sofanya products. We have the best everything. It's all there. It's all just ready to press go and scale. So we can do it. We can do it at a certain level with what we have, but with that extra infusion, we could really do it. And I saw it. You heard it here first. So we'll see.
We are manifesting $500,000.
Yes. Every time we said it in connection with Sofanya, it's happened. So I'm into it. Yeah. I'm very much into it. Any final things we should tune into before we go on the journey of the full moon that begins tomorrow? Anything else that feels alive?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me too. I feel pretty complete. Yeah, I'm excited. So I feel great about our cozy season. I don't feel like it's a loss being apart. I feel like it's a new nourishing reality. I mean, we
have a whole other month. We still have till October. So
fair. And we still Facebook message video each other almost every morning and talk with our coffees by video. So it's almost like you're here anyways. So I feel like
only a drive away.
Yeah. End of an era, birth of a new one.
This or something better is always whenever I get into any moment of like when I was selling my house, when I'm giving notice in my apartment that I love so much. I'm like, this or something better.
Great.
My own lessons of letting go in order to receive what's next.
Amazing. I'm getting the strongest intuition to each pull a card.
Okay.
That we need to see right now based on this whole conversation, and we can conclude with that.
Great.
Okay. To wrap it up, my card is integrate before you activate.
That's the one I got earlier.
No. This is not a time for action. Observe, and the situation will become clear. I feel like this is me sitting out just sitting, watching the mountains.
Interesting. Do what brings you joy.
Oh, that's so you.
Your joy is your birthright. Let go of duty and obligations to focus on what will nourish you right now. It's time to relax, enjoy, and focus on you.
I love this. Yay. All right, Goddess. Well, happy eve of the full moon. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Me too. Thanks, Goddess. Thanks for being on the journey with us. We'd love to have you as part of the ongoing conversation. Join us on our socials at Sofanya Beauty and join our email community at sofanyabeauty.com. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.